That is a red jersey coming across the gap, and I think that might well be Raul Garcia. Yeah, looks like he's forming, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks like obviously Tulit and Uijtdebroeks couldn't close it down to the flying Tarling, and sensing the danger, Garcia's gone to try and get across that gap, but all kicking off now on the part of the course that we didn't expect to. We have got that kicker. I'm going to be interested to see if anyone can jump out of this chasing group and jump across to these three now on the next climb.
So, Ian, if you're Steve Cummings back there in the Ineos Grenadiers team car, what do you say now? Because you've got Bernal sitting back there in second place on general classification, and yet Josh Tarling finds himself up the road with an opportunity here to try and close up that gap on Vingegaard and even take the stage himself. Yes, it's close, but that's where he is. What do you say to him?
Just get your head down, keep going. It looks like, although maybe a bit too strong for the other two, kind of takes the impetus out. Uran didn't want to go through, didn't want to do a turn. Looked like Tarling had put him in a bit of trouble, to be honest.
Yeah, he is absolutely flying. The winner of our opening time trial, Josh Tarling, let's not forget that was on his road bike too, not on a time trial bike, so we know the kind of watts he can lay down on his road bike in time trial fashion. He'd probably do well just to get on with it, because I'd have thought between him and Jonas Vingegaard, I could see Josh Tarling bringing this back maybe by himself. It could be that flicking the elbow for these two to come through might actually slow them down. There we have it. It is Raul Garcia who's gone across to that in snappy fashion as well. We know how well he is going after his time trial performance the other day. He was, what, 6th in the opening time trial, Raul Garcia, and could have even finished higher, I suspect, had he been on his time trial bike. He's in very, very good form.
Amazing to see just a slight lull in action between those three when Tarling pulled over and just wasn't kind of keen to come through and do a turn, and immediately lose 5 or 6 seconds. It's always amazing to me, those three, if you ask them afterwards, it was like, no, we were riding hard the whole way, but just that really, really small lull in action compared to Vingegaard's just constantly on the pedals the whole way, and you lose 5-6 seconds.
Now he's very close to crossing the river now. This is the little rise. It's not quite steep enough to really cause too much damage, but it's giving him an opportunity just to climb into it a little bit. Sorry, he's climbing away from the bridge already. Here comes the peloton, if we can call it that. Chase group. It is what remains of the peloton. There might well be a bigger group behind them, though, but this is the remnants of what was the peloton, attacking up the right-hand side. That looks like the dark blue, maybe, of Groupama FDG. Let's see when we get a bit closer to them. Josh Tarling, what do you do if you are young Josh Tarling, the European time trial champion, sitting on the back of another very strong performer in Raul Garcia, and then Rigoberto Urán? Rather strong chase group, that.
It certainly is. I think he needs to be a little bit careful at this point. Tarling, he doesn't want to tow Garcia away from Bernal. There is a bit of a gap, but Bernal at 28 seconds, Garcia at 55. So needs to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to obviously close that gap down on his team leader for Garcia.
Tomorrow's final stage of O Gran Camiño is the Queen stage, no doubt about that, and it is brutally hard as well. The two final ascents of the Monte Aloya, that first category climb, you would say we'll see this man crowned the victor, but all sorts can happen in between now and then. All sorts can happen right now. Hello. I think, is that Castrillo they're just about to catch? So he was in between the two. He's still carried on, Pablo Castrillo, and has still not yet been caught. He might find himself latching on to this group behind, and it looks to me like Jefferson Cepeda is also ramping his way up behind them too. That's definitely a green bike of Caja Rural who's coming across. We know that Cepeda is in great form. All back together now in that chasing group.
Yeah, Garcia far too dangerous to let go, even if it's only 10-15 seconds up the road, as Rodriguez dropped from that chasing group / peloton, whatever you want to call it. There's Rafferty as well, just getting dropped on. We called it a small kicker, but after 2 really, really tough days of racing, you only need kind of a short 3-4%, and it really hurts the legs.
If you're a Visma Lease bike fan, and particularly if you're a Jonas Vingegaard fan, if you're Danish and you're watching this, you will have had your heart in your mouth on multiple occasions, because Jonas Vingegaard is not doing the Grand Tour thing of, I don't want to risk any accidents in the early season, in the year I'm going for the 3rd Tour de France victory in a row. Absolutely none of it. He has full sent it, I think, and he's full sent it through every corner since he left. I don't think we've seen him hold back at all.
No, unbelievable on that descent when he initially went. The gap wasn't huge, but just really persisted with it and just kept on it, hoping or knowing that the chase behind would stall. They would all look round, as we see Castrillo looking round, desperately wanted to hang on for second on the stage.
Wow.
But unfortunately for him, I don't think he's going to be able to do so.
This man has no right to be still riding in the way he's doing now. It is absolutely brilliant. They're the moments of our great sport that make our sport as great as it is. The rider who's going through stuff that you just wouldn't expect them to be able to do, and coming out the other side, realising he's capable of just that little bit more that his head actually says. He'll try and hang on, try and stay with that next group and get himself maybe a top 10 finish. I think that is him there. So he's been dropped by... is that him there, Ian? I think it is. He's been dropped by the advanced group as well, ready to find himself in this group. Here we are, almost into the final K for last year's winner of this race, Jonas Vingegaard, winner yesterday in Chantada, and looking everything the winner here today in Ribadavia. What a ride, what a time trial. Not so much a climbing display, yes, a great attacking display, but all of a sudden he finds himself riding a pure time trial out front. Look at the ride by this man. Look at this.
Unbelievable. Just got to hang on now, but that group behind rapidly catching him, and second and third place up for grabs with those bonus seconds, 10, 6 and 4 on the line. Looks like this man is going to take those 40 seconds and add 10 to it, but it's going to be a big fight for second place on the stage. They're coming down now, gradually downhill until about 300-400 meters to go, and then it will drag all the way to the line. That final kicker, they'll bear right just here, just past this junction, and it ramps all the way to the line now.
Well, it has been impressive. I think, if anything, it's been more impressive than yesterday, where he looked like he struggled to get a bit of a gap indeed. The 27-year-old Jonas Vingegaard, I asked the question yesterday, is he coming into his purple patch? We won't know until years down the line when we look at the history books. But Tadej Pogačar, Primož Roglič, Remco Evenepoel, are you watching? Tap, 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 because this man has started the season in very fine form again. He won 3 stages last year here. He's won 2 stages now this year in front of an even stronger competition. Jonas Vingegaard is sending out a clear message, and I think a message is what this is about. He kisses the ring one second time. It's a crystal clear image of what we saw yesterday, and he's done the same thing again. What will the gap be back to that chasing group? Ian, what an impressive ride once again.
Very impressive. As you see that chasing group coming in now, Movistar leading out. I think Lenny Martinez in there, Gaudu. No, it's Pacher.
Yeah, he's had another good ride. Carlos Cañales leading out the sprint, though. The local man trying to make sure he's to the line first. We said he might be involved with the finish, and he is. Carlos Cañales is going to get a really fine second place. The man who was born in Zinzo de Limia, where we started at midday today, and that is a very select, mightily reduced leading group. We watch Hugh Carthy come across the line now too, and even the back end of that group has been minced.